Hello, what up? It's John, your movie madman, and I'm back. So today is my book versus film 8. So this is my 8th one. Obviously, today we're gonna be talking about the book, The 39 Steps. I'd say versus the film, but there's like 3 of them. So we've got Alfred Hitchcock's The 39 Steps here. I do have the other 2, which are, one of them starring Kenneth More, the other one starring Robert Powell. But you know, no one really cares about those 2. I'd say the Alfred Hitchcock 39 Steps is the most famous one. One of the reasons why I read this book during lockdown was firstly because it was pretty short. You know, you got to love a short book, you know, because then you feel like you've achieved something, don't you? When you finish reading a book, you're like, cool, I've read a book, I've achieved something. So pick a short book and you feel like you've achieved something even quicker, which is a bonus. Bonus. This book versus the 3 films. To start with, the 3 films, from what I remember, I haven't seen the second one or the third one, Kenneth More or Robert Powell, in a long time. But from what I remember, the basis of the story is pretty similar throughout all 3 of those films. I've seen the Alfred Hitchcock one a few more times, mainly because I've got a lot into Alfred Hitchcock over the last couple of years, so it has been one that I've gone back to and watched again a few times in the last couple of years, and I think I enjoy it a little bit more every time. It's always one of those films that I put on and I'm like, I can't remember if I like this or not, and then I watch it and I'm like, yeah, I do enjoy this. One of Alfred Hitchcock's good films. It's good with tension, good with build-ups. It's got a good ending, which is quite rare for Alfred Hitchcock. I don't know if you know much about Alfred Hitchcock films, but he's very good at doing this thing where they get to the end of the film where like the mystery's been solved, or the thriller side of it has got to the end and the bad guy's been caught or whatever, and then the film just stops. Like, he doesn't conclude his films very often, but I'm pretty sure this is one of his films that did have some sort of conclusion, so that was quite nice. So about this book, one thing that stuck out to me the most about the book was how shite it was. Like, literally one of the most boring books that I've ever read. Right, and I've read all 7 Narnia books, but we'll go into them in a different video. But this book really bored me. Like, all the way through, I was just like, I didn't care about anything that was going on. And I was like, you've literally taken a really good film and made it feel really boring. So I'm very happy that the films were made, because the films are massive step ups from this book. The book is so boring, like, and I'm quite happy that I think the book's boring. I've talked to other people that have read the book, and they said they thought the book was boring as well. Some of them said they thought the book was so boring they didn't even bother watching the films. I said, you got to go back and watch those films, especially Alfred Hitchcock's one, because the film is so much better. There's no verses here in comparison, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I wouldn't even bother reading the book. If you've seen the films, you want to read the book, then don't bother reading the book, because you're just wasting your time. It's just really boring, as far as I was concerned. There wasn't really anything in the book that was interesting. I was like, I'm pretty sure this book's meant to be interesting, because the films are quite interesting, the films are quite tense. Whereas the book, I was just like, trying really hard to stay awake while I was reading it, which is quite a challenge when you're holding a book in front of you and you find yourself dropping off. Like, it's not a good thing. It's definitely not a good thing. So out of that, I would definitely say the films were better. Out of the 3 films, I would say Alfred Hitchcock's one is the best one as well. Not because the other 2 are newer, not because it's directed by Alfred Hitchcock. I just preferred it, alright? I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, that's why there isn't too much of a comparison when it comes to the book versus the film, because I don't feel like I really have anything to compare, which is awkward. But I think one of the main reasons why I made this video for book versus film was just to show people that there are some films out there that are better than the books. There are some films out there that are 50-50. There are certain parts in the book that are better. There are certain parts in the film that were better, but there was literally nothing in the book that interested me at all. I just felt like the man had taken the film and made it really boring, which is funny because the book was written first, but it's one of those old books, so I'm pretty sure when I read it, it felt like it had been written by Shakespeare. Not that there's anything wrong with Shakespeare, but it was really old-fashioned, and I just didn't care. I felt like I was getting older and older as I read it. It took me a long time to get through it, considering it's a really short book. It took me ages to get through it, because I was like, I just don't care about this book whatsoever. I think there was one afternoon where I had about a quarter of it left, and I was like, do you know what, I'm just going to finish this, because I literally couldn't give two shits about this story. It was really boring. I probably said that a few times now. Book versus film. Book terrible. Film incredible. No 50-50 scale there. I'd say definitely watch that film, and if you've got the book, burn it and film it and post a video on YouTube, and you'll probably get loads of likes, because everyone would agree. If there are certain old people out there that are like, oh, the 39 Steps is my favourite book, I do apologise. Alright, I'm not trying to offend people by saying I thought the book was crap, but I thought the book was crap. If you're offended by that, that's up to you. It's up to you to be offended. It's up to you to realise it's just an opinion. But I've done opinion videos before, so we won't go into that anymore. But yeah, that's it for today. I'm gonna poo off. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. So I will see you later. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for your support so far. Alright? Bye.